Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And if you don't know already, we're going to be starting a PWG NWA crossover show. And boy, has this thing been a pain in my ass since the development of it. Now, you might be wondering why. Well, because for the most part, it seems like every single person in PWG keeps on getting injured as I'm trying to plan this thing. So let me show you what I'm working with right now. We had some plans of what we were going to do with this. We were like, hey, let's do champion versus champion. That'd be a lot of fun, right? Enzo versus Ricochet. Oh no, you're injured. Hamstring. How long are you going to be out? Can we push this back a week? Maybe. No, like 25 days. Okay. I was like, yeah, I could work around this though. And then I just went forward in my game here, and I was like, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do tag champions versus tag champions. We set up a little bit of storyline with that. And then as I moved through my game save, oh, Michael Elgin, you're one half of the World Tag Team Champions, PWG. You're out injured for 17 days. So I don't know how many people are actually going to be in my PWG show, because at this rate, it seems like everybody that I wanted was injured. So we'll work around it, but just to give you guys a little bit of idea, definitely not going to be what I expected it to be, but that's fine. I guess there's always next year, right? Yeah, definitely a bummer. Definitely a bummer. But that's fine. We'll work with it. I still have some plans here. So it's going to be maybe a little bit more NWA than PWG, but that's fine. We'll work with it, and we'll see what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and advance here till the next show, and hopefully no one else gets injured. That would be great, right? Oh no. All the horrible things are happening in my save. Looks like JR just died. Oh. Well, that's a bummer. Alright, so we're back for NWA versus PWG. It's going to be a pay-per-view on the CW. Should have not done one of these in a bit. Backstage rating is horrible. Horrible. By the way, in between my saves, Nick Jackson and Trent Beretta are both injured. So I really, at this point, don't even know what this show is going to be. Also, Juice Robinson's injured. Everybody's injured. It's crazy. All three were actually involved in my plans for tonight. So this is not going to be the PWG crossover show that I wanted. But I don't think I'm going to bother pushing it back. Those tickets are sold, so we can't turn back now. I guess, the card's subject to change, right? Let's go ahead with the show and figure out what the hell we're going to do. Man, I got the worst luck with injuries. Skylar was being obnoxious. Beat up Jimmy Jacobs. Suspend him. No, fine him. Brodie turned up very late. I'll just give him a warning. And then an incident involving Enzo and Cody. Oh, look at that. Cody's now my wrestler's court judge. All right. Man. I don't even know what to do here. Jeez. All right, let's do a rib. Rib with Enzo. Give him a major prize. No, he's happy. I don't want to upset him. Brodie. No, Brodie's happy. Mike Vern is normal. Here, we'll do a major prank. Whatever. Okay, fine. No one can take a joke. All right, well, let's book this steaming turd of an event and see what we can pull out of its carcass. Let's go ahead and go on with the show. I'll be back. All right, we're back. Let's see if we can scrounge something out of this freaking disaster. But let's go ahead and get started with the show. So, one of the first things I try to do with this one is probably not good financially, but I wanted to make sure with how poorly our backstage rating is going right now and how much more that's leading to violence and incidents and problems, I wanted to make sure I get as many people, especially the cheaper people, as I could on maybe a pre-show or something like that. So there's a couple extra matches that are just sort of here to get them, get them working a little bit. So it's going to cost us a little bit, but it might boost us. We didn't do everybody, but we did, some people, and with some goals in mind. So, we want to start building up Bull James. So we had him squash Worry. I don't know if there are no improvements. Probably not, doing anything, but maybe we start to develop him, get him a little bit more popularity, because I think we could have a good mid-Carter heel. And he might work for us pretty nicely. Pretty bad rating, but, we're developing them. So what do you expect, I guess? We are being held to 2,400 people, which is nice. Let's go ahead and next one. So same thing. Trying to do just get some people on, in the pre-show, just get them so they're a little bit happier. We just have the exhibition match with our 3 other tag teams, and it's pretty bad, as we would expect, because none of our tag teams are very good, but, what are you going to do? The little Cholo is improving in performance skills, so look, he got something out of it, okay? That's something. We start with opener of the show, which is Enzo going off and cutting a promo. Basically what he's saying is that he was scheduled to fight Ricochet, the PWG champion, but as he expected, the scrawny little dude who should keep wearing a mask, that scrawny little dude, as he calls him, couldn't stand up for the challenge and got himself injured. So he doesn't know, who the Zoe show is supposed to main event and may highlight, but he calls out anybody that thinks they can, hang with him to do so and represent PWG. Ethan Carter III, who is a main eventer in PWG, in this save, comes out to take the challenge. So we got the main event, was going to be Ricochet versus Enzo, champion versus champion. Obviously that can't now, but here we are. We have, the 1% coming out to, to go ahead and take Enzo's challenge. 80, not bad. Good way to start the show. Got the crowd hotter, which is going to be bad because I think I have a work the crowd match first. But, oh, well. And we do. So, we know Candice LeRae was the number 1 contender. And she gets in a match with Tenille for the championship for NWA. And she, in fact, goes ahead and goes over Tenille. Beats her in 11 minutes, 59 seconds by pinfall. And wins the NWA World's Women's title from her. Poorly paced. That's a shame. Yeah, that's a little shame. It's very hot. And I'm not sure why it's saying Tenille heel turn. I thought she's already a heel. I don't know why it's even at... Did I book that by accident? I don't think so. No. Yeah. I have no idea why I was saying that. They're pretty evenly matched. I think we'll do a nice back and forth with them going forward. One of the things, probably after this episode, very shortly will come up another episode where we're, I can't help myself. I'm going to go through a hiring spree again. But one of the things I'm looking for more tag team champions, or more tag team. I'm looking for more tag team competitors to booster that division. A few more maybe junior heavyweights, and definitely a few more women, because I think we could do a little bit more in all three of our subdivisions, and I might groom back the general division a little bit in the process, let some contracts expire. We'll do a whole thing. I know you guys love the little behind the scenes videos. We're definitely going to do one of those and just kind of go through that and see what we can pull out of the ether to maybe make some interesting divisions, because I feel like my women's division's been a little lacking, especially for my taste. I think we could do more. I just kind of limited in the amount of people that I have and what we have going on there. Might maybe do like a women's tag division with it, kind of like a subdivision within that division. And definitely we need more tag teams, because they keep on getting injured, and one half of it keeps on. I can't keep them around fast enough to actually have a competitive tag team. I have a bunch of jobbers that won't get injured, and I have all my top stars getting injured. It's not good. But we'll go ahead and we'll deal more with that in another episode. Let's go ahead and jump ahead here. 42, not bad. So we got another promo. Tyler Bates comes out, and he says, I've been issuing challenges to everyone for my belt, because I'm a fighting champion and I believe I'm the best in the world, and this belt represents it. I am the champion of the junior heavyweight division, and I'm not afraid of any challenge. That includes both locker rooms. Anybody that thinks they can hang here, that wants a challenge, wants a shot at my belt, it is yours. Come into the ring and let's have a match. So 62. And PWG's legendary Super Dragon comes out and makes a very elaborate entrance to playing to the crowd. No one seems to care. Apparently, nobody in the NWA knows Super Dragon. One guy in the background is just going Super Dragon all over again, and that's about it. All right, decent match. 42, not horrible. He's not great, but hey, that got the crowd hotter. Tyler Bates retains his championship, hits Super Dragon with a Tyler Driver 9-7, makes defense number 4 of his junior heavyweight title. It's not horrible. I really thought that Super Dragon would have a little bit higher of a score, but okay, whatever. Okay, Fleisch, whatever, man. And of course, we have a nice showmanship from both faces. They shake each other's hands as a sign of respect. Super Dragon raises Tyler Bates' hands, points at his chest. You know the routine. Nice little, showing of maybe a bit of an indie veteran showing off to the young prospect and saying, yeah, you know what? It was a hell of a good match. Doesn't seem like it really did anything one way or the other, but, D-. No one hated it. That's good. Now we have another fun match, a PWG versus NWA matchup, even though Chuck Taylor's also in PWG, but we're going to ignore that. It is a I Quit Sleaze Off match. So it was a comedy-based match. It was kind of a cool-off match just to give him a little bit of a breather. And Chuck Taylor defeats Joey Ryan in a sleaze-off match. The sleazy Kentucky gentleman himself actually out-sleazes Joey Ryan just this one time and manages to get him to quit. So, not bad. No improvements. About evenly matched. They're 40, 48, 43, so having a match rating of 47 seems about right. Pretty good breather for the crowd. Well, okay, I guess it's technically a brawl-based match, but it was a comedy focus, but that's fine. You guys did fine. Of course, we have our number 1 contendership match. There's a ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldous and Tim Storm. Cody Rhodes defeats Nick Aldous and Tim Storm in a ladder match in 14 minutes, 59 seconds when Cody Rhodes retrieved the item. The item. It's so ominous. I love it when it's not a belt. It's like the item. It's a contract or something, I guess. I don't know. Game doesn't even know. But he took it from the sky and he got it. Cody's head and shoulders of everybody else. Tim Storm's a weak link. Yeah, that makes sense. 62 for Cody, 50 for Nick, 36 for Tim. Tim sustained a wrist strain and got the crowd buzzing. And Nick Aldis took a stunt bump. It's funny that Nick Aldis took the stunt bump, didn't get hurt, but Tim Storm just wrestling crappy, got injured there. Yeah, so not bad. D+, not bad. I think that's the best match that Tim Storm's gonna have. Let's put it that way. The fall of Nick Aldis continues, then the future NWA both advance and gain heat from this. And now Cody Rhodes is the number one contender for the NWA Championship. We have another, this is just a breather match. Just, kind of get the fans a little bit calmed down. Ryan Nemeth defeats Elliot Russell in 5 minutes of the Hot and Bothered. Does horrible. If you guys remember, we were talking about maybe Ryan Nemeth developing him a little bit, maybe having him sort of as one of our, I guess you would call it, young lions. He maybe has a little bit of potential. I just need to put them on here, maybe get him a little bit of a boost, get him a little bit happier. They didn't improve at all. That's fine. Who do we have a turn for here? Set to turn build up. Current alignment. Why do I have him set to turn? The turn is what? As face? Or is it gimmick change? Oh, yes. Changing his gimmick. Go ahead. Very good. Good job. He was bossy. Okay. Now we have a tag match that is weird. So there were supposed to be 2 tag matches here. Basically what ends up happening is, we got Nicole Josephus as tag team champions call out Brian Cage and say, hey, understand that your tag champion partner is injured, Mike Eglin, Big Mike himself. Well, if you don't have, I guess we're going to have to call off this match unless you have a partner. And Matt and Nick Jackson were also supposed to have a match tonight, and of course Nick is injured. So why not combine both of the two into the oddest freaking tag team I've ever seen in my life? Matt Jackson and Brian Cage representing PWG, one half of the tag champions, one half of the IWGP junior tag champions in this save, joined together to fight Nicole Josephus. Good heat, decent wrestling. Brian Cage and Matt Jackson defeat Colt Josephus in 11 minutes when Matt Jackson defeated Josephus Brodie by a pinfall with a moonsault, following a botched interference by Jimmy Jacobs on ringside. We also had Jimmy Jacobs accidentally hit Josephus in the process. So we did boost up Josephus a little bit, but he's still kind of struggling to perform. But that's fine. We'll tweak him as we need to be. Again, if anyone's got opinions on what stats I should put him at, we know he's kind of not statted right, but I'm not really sure where his performance stats should be. So let me know. I will bump them up a little bit. I'm not afraid of editing him. I don't normally like to edit stuff in the database, but if something's just demonstrably wrong, which clearly we have a problem with him, I'm not opposed to changing it a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead. D 45. That's not bad. Following that, we do have an angle afterwards. Sami Callihan, who did not take the pinfall but lost the match anyways, gets very upset, grabs Jimmy, grabs him by his shirt, starts pushing him a little bit, and gets in his face. And Josephus after kind of recovering from the pin, gets between the two, stares down Sami angrily, and just shakes his head, and Sami cools down, and he kind of gets between the two. So a little bit of maybe some cracks within the team of the cult of Josephus, and Josephus trying to keep it in order a little bit. They lost heat, though. Apparently people do not care about this that much. That's a shame. We have a quick video just hyping up the Enzo Amore, Ethan Carter III main event. And then we have the main event itself. Fantastic heat and decent wrestling. Enzo Amore defeats Ethan Carter in 15 minutes by pinfall with a tornado DDT. We also had Mike Werner run in and attack EC3 when the ref was distracted, kind of helping Enzo win. Enzo's actually his performance skills are not bad. 50 versus 61 from EC3. D plus 52 is not bad. And that ends the show, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, D plus 51. Would have liked it a little bit higher, but I think adding some of these people, I'm like, oh boy, that Super Dragon match, that him coming out, I'm just imagining the reaction for the crowd with that rating. Like, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, Super Dragon's gonna come out, it's gonna be great. And he comes out, and he's like, yeah, hey, look at me, and the crowd's just like, who? Oh, it's him. That's a shame. That's a real shame. But what are you gonna do? Not bad though. Let's make a speech to everyone. Who's upset? Who's angry right now? Here we'll point Bull as a good example here. We'll compliment Cody for a great performance, and we'll give Tim some encouragement because he got hurt. Pleased all around. Very good. Let's check our emails real quick. And of course, they are all gone now because they only had them for one time. What a crazy sequences of events. I mean, so many injuries, still more injuries. Point one, not great. Enzo, I don't care. I read on the Fantasy Booker subreddit an awesome idea, so maybe I won't do it for Enzo, but I love the idea, is that if anyone complains about a person, the next time they have a match, you should put them together and make them eat the pin for that person. It's a interesting way to do it. Look at these morale issues. Oh my God. What am I doing? Nick Jackson also has one appearance left on his contract because when we signed him up, he then got injured. So, thanks, man. When can I use you for a singles run? It's so stupid. 26 days. God. Everyone's so injured right now. It's the worst. I think there's a way to even look. Can I even look at who is entirely injured? Is there not chemistry? I thought there was a medical. Am I going crazy? Am I just missing it? Investments, finance. I guess, no, there it is. Medical. Yeah. All right. So CJ's injured. Nick's injured. Trent's injured. Trent got injured again, by the way, in between saves, because it was originally going to be Trent and, the super best friends versus Matt and Nick Jackson was going to be fun. And then originally what I planned to do after Nick got injured, no, not Nick, after Michael Elgin got injured, who I didn't even put on my thing because he got injured while negotiating. I was originally going to have Juice go ahead and be the tag partner to kind of build up some of that rivalry between his old partner Jimmy. And of course, then, he got injured. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I should drug test everybody. Maybe they're on some bone weakening juice or something. They're just like falling apart. Are they radioactive? Were they wrestling in Fukushima? Like, what is going on with all of my rosters? They're all just dying like this. It's crazy. All right. Well, that was a show. Still lost a crap ton of money, but did we lose money from that? Actually, hold on. Workers cost a lot. Pay-per-view sales did almost nothing. TV revenue was a lot more. Man, I don't know. We'll see. All right, we got 1 month left of our Starrcade contract, so we'll look at what we're doing with our pay-per-views. We might even be able to get a better pay-per-view deal going forward. I'm not positive, but yeah, that's rough. It was a rough build-in for that event. Want to do one again. I really wanted to do one with Ring of Honor, but with the way the New Japan alliances with them, there was no way they were going to accept it. And PWG just had a little too many crossovers, and the people that I wanted all got injured. So, I mean, that's wrestling, right? It's card is subject to change, and sometimes you got to do something a little weird. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining me today. I will see you next time for another episode of Starrcade.